Hey everybody, it's me again, Dokkan Spartan. Just making a second rambling video because I just felt like there was just more stuff that I wanted to say. And I didn't necessarily get to cover my feelings for all of the franchises like I thought I would in the first video. I mostly went on about things that had to do with Power Rangers, Universe, Game of Thrones, but this time around, I still want to talk about Kai and Ultra Universe, but I wanted to cover like how I feel about just in general, like Kingdom Hearts, Naruto, and Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. Because those are the trifectas of where my heart is. Alright, so if I had to rank all of the franchises on my love for them, Power Rangers and Game of Thrones are S tier. They're S tier. They're at the tippity top. They're at the tippity top. Every Friday, Jon Snow, Littlefinger, Daenerys, and Cersei are on one podium, and on the other podium, it's Tommy, Captain Marvelous, Kimberly, and Andros on the second podium. And the judges are Ikagen, Madoka, and Beatrice Gravestone, and the Alma the Rogexi, my OCs. And that's basically where it is for me, because I love Power Rangers, but I love Game of Thrones. It's like the kid in me that watched Power Rangers since I was 3 years old, that was captivated by Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger, captivated by the Psychos, captivated by the Wild Force Rangers and Forever Red and Ninja Storm and Gokaiga. Well, the Gokaiga, the Sentai is a bit different. Sentai's more teenage me, but I would say, yeah, that side of me is still very prevalent, especially in this universe. But the adult me, it's me that went to college, the me that sat for 19 years and essentially with these Game of Thrones characters, that part of me loves the God world. So it's just like, my heart is torn between two worlds, and those are the two worlds. Now, A tier, these are worlds that are important to me, but they just didn't reach the ceiling that Power Rangers and Game of Thrones has. Another S tier I'm gonna throw in there is Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts also belongs in S tier because that is the foundation of my entire story, essentially. It's Kingdom Hearts and Naruto. It started off as a Naruto and Kingdom Hearts crossover in which Naruto was in the organization, and the organization was still bad guys in that story. And that was a while back. But Kingdom Hearts was heavy in the DNA because throughout all of these years, the one thing that has remained a constant is the Kingdom Hearts characters. They are the flawless military. They were the one, because my whole idea was I want to tell stories with Organization 13. Like, yes, I like Sora, yes, I like Riku, but y'all know me. I like villains, bro. And there's 4 characters in Organization 13 that I've always wanted to tell stories with. There was Xemnas, Zigbar, Sayax, and Shion. At 5, we'll throw Luxord in there too. Those are my 5 favorite Organization 13 members. I like them all. I like all of them. I don't really fuck with Dimix like that, but that's just because he's crazy. But we don't even know. That nigga might be the master of masters for all we know. But Kingdom Hearts was heavy into my teen years, bro. I got into it. My man's put me onto the game. My friend brought me onto the Kingdom Hearts game. And the first world I played was Twilight Town, was Roxas. That was my first Kingdom Hearts game. It was Kingdom Hearts 2. And I seen Axel, this red-headed dude in a black coat with these wheels for like weapons and shit. He uses fire. He was the coolest thing on the block for me, bro. I was like, whoa, who is this? And then they had like 12 other niggas with black hoods that we needed to learn about. And just that part of Kingdom Hearts was the best part for me, bro. Just Organization 13 in general, just dealing with that. Like, yes, I like the Disney worlds. Yes, I like Sora and everything that we happened. But it was, for me, it was Organization 13. And even more so with Chain of Memories. Because me and my best friend Johnny, our favorite storyline in Kingdom Hearts is Chain of Memories. Because that's the Gaslight Gatekeep storyline, bro. That's when niggas, Sora went to Castle Oblivion. And they was like, yeah, there's another girl that you like this entire time. And it's not Kyrie. And slowly he starts to even forget that Kyrie even exists. And Donald and Goofy looking at him like he acting funny, like, oh, Sora, you sure talk about Nominate a lot. Well, we have to protect Nominate. She's in trouble. I never had your books on the shoulder before, Sora. Donald, Goofy. I'm just saying, like, they say it, the find is to lose, and to lose is to find. What if you're walking into a trap of yuck? No! How could you? You're just gonna let Nominate be tortured by these two? Marluxia and Marcine are terrible. I thought you guys were my friends. So, we're your friends. That's why we're trying to warn you. No! You guys are not ride or die enough, bro. Real friends would just be with it. They wouldn't question nothing. I'm going to save Nominate. And bro, that was sort of the whole energy throughout Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, bro. And I loved it, bro. And on some real shit, I love Marluxia in Chain of Memories. That nigga was a problem, bro. This nigga had a scythe. He had like 3 different forms. He had his first form when you fight him on the ground. And the second form where half of his body is mechanical when they're playing Cypher pedals that which they use Lord of the Castle for Marluxia's theme song essentially. And I like Cypher pedals more. But contextually, I like Cypher pedals so much that I usually use it for Rogexio. And if I was to do something with Marluxia, I'm definitely using Lord of the Castle. Because those two Cypher pedals in Lord of the Castle slaps. Bro, the Kingdom Hearts catalog and music, all of it slaps. All of the Xehanort theme songs, they slap. The Twilight Town theme song, they slap. Kyrie, nigga, Kyrie is S tier. You know, I'm gonna tell you a story. I was listening to Kyrie's theme song just in the background. I used to be having Kingdom Hearts music as ambient sometimes, bro. And my father came into the room, he thought the music was weird. He was like, because you know, he black, he grew up on hip hop and stuff like that. So he made a face and stuff. He's like, oh, what are you even listening to? And it was just like, I felt like Tyrion trying to explain himself to Lord Tyrant. I'm like, Father, this is Kyrie from Kingdom Hearts. Kyrie from Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, Kyrie. You never played Kingdom Hearts? No, I do not partake in the activities of children. Kingdom Hearts is a Disney game, am I correct? Yes, Father. It's a very good game. You should try it. No, if I'm going to play a game, I'm going to play Left 4 Dead. At the very least, it's realistic. Nah, bro. I don't think my father actually ever beat that game. I remember I was helping him. He got stuck at one point, and I was helping him against the zombies and shit like that. But nah, son, that was just a little good memory that I had there. But no, the Kingdom Hearts music slaps. But let's just get back to the Kingdom Hearts characters. I loved all of them, but for me, I always had different interpretations of these characters because I'm gonna be real, I don't really give me much to work with. Everybody, most of y'all niggas is just Xehanort with slightly different personality. Like, there's a couple of standouts like Larxene and Zigbar. They're completely different. Those are different beasts right there. But Syax, Marluxia, Terranor, Young Xehanort, Zaldin, all of them are basically have the haha, I'm evil personality. Okay, if you go to this world, I'm gonna fuck with whoever you fuck with and try to turn them into a heartless, and I'm gonna give you a long, extensive monologue about how you ain't shit and how you ain't ready and how we gonna fuck your ass up later on in this game. Am I gonna fight you in the middle of the game? No! I'm gonna save my shit all the way to the end of the game. This ain't Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm not Zaldin. Bro, Zaldin was one of the best parts of Kingdom Hearts 2, son. Zaldin, the Whirlwind Lancer, was one of my favorite bosses in 2. You wanna know why? Because when I fought him, I lost immediately. I found out that I could play with Mickey in that game, bro. And bro, I love Zaldin. And I was tight that they didn't put Zaldin in 3. They had him and Lexius out here silent in the background. No voice actor. I think one of their voice actors passed or something like that. So he wanted to pay homage. And I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna say this right now, and I might sound fucked up on this, but we need to stop pussyfooting every time somebody dies when it comes to these characters, bro. Because because we end up ruining the legacy of the character by not replacing them and not getting another person to play the character. All this grieving and mourning, there was no reason for us to have a Black Panther 2 the way it was. We could have had another T'Challa. Y'all already gonna give us another T'Challa. So it's just like, no. Just get somebody else to play Zaldin and Lexius. But don't reduce them to silent bodyguards because that's body shaming. Y'all just did that because they big. I ain't like that. I mean, I don't even do much with them, to be honest. Like, Lexius is still technically under either Mavis, Ansem, or whoever is in charge of control, which things for Mavis and Ansem are about to change, so we'll see how that affects Lexius. And Zaldin, well, he's in the Flow's military. He's more like a background character compared to like the Greystone twins and the bigger scientists. But yeah, him and Zexian usually be there whenever Beatrice and Dexter aren't the main scientists. Like, they got their own little things that they do. As the story goes along, I'm always going to keep on constantly improving these characters, constantly giving them things to do, but my universe is huge, and I've been developing this for years. I have friends that are no longer with us, that are integral to this universe. Like my Dexter Greystone character. My boy, my best friend Malachi, he passed away, and that was his favorite character because it reminded him of himself, because Dexter had glasses, he was a smart guy with glasses, Malachi was a smart guy with glasses, and I even gave Malachi creative control of Dexter, for the most part, while he was alive, and Kai did a lot of things with the character that I don't fully remember anymore because we didn't write any of this shit down. We was just vibing for the most part. We was living in the moment, developing these characters, and he's gone. And I miss him. I miss my boy, bro. And I've never found a friend better than him. The closest thing I got is my girl. But I really miss my boy. He was integral to this story. And it just be feeling like he's just not here no more, and it's just a blow. But yeah, let's get back to just the characters and how I feel about just the different stories, franchises, and characters in general. Now, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a tricky one. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a tricky one. The reason I say that is because I'm a duelist. I grew up on Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Used to be my life. My days used to consist of me walking around, finding people in Yu-Gi-Oh! And beating them in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then building decks, card effects, all types of stuff, arguing about rulings, trading, going to places where there's people that play Yu-Gi-Oh! That was my life at one point. and I've grown a lot of burnout over the years living that life because, you know, like as I got older, you know, you start talking to women, you start doing other things, you just get into a bunch of other things. Like your nerd hobbies are still there, but now it's just more that's condensed, and it's just the game changed too much. I love this game. I'm still playing this game, but I'll admit I'm a fossil in this freaking game. Like I play Ancient Gears. That's my first favorite arch type. I play that. I play Gate Guardians and stuff like that. I play decks that I don't have to special summon 15 times. A good 4 or 5 special summons should do the trick. And more or less in this game, I could still win, but I could also lose. And it's always a toss-up because you never know what you're going to go up against. When I played Duel Links, because I downloaded Duel Links again, because they put Alistair in the game, and the Orichalcos Saga characters are my favorite characters. That's my favorite arc of all the Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it's bad. I like it better. Duel Scheme, Battle City, all of that. And if y'all going to start putting the Musketeers in the game, I'm going to start playing the game. Because the one thing I've always wanted, and if you know me as a duelist, you know that I've been complaining about this for years, since I've seen the cards. Air Fortress, Ziggurat, Gorlag, Atonic Flame, Firewhip, and all the Valence armor cards, and some of Darkseid's cards. None of them shits came out. Right now, we got like 7 fucking Yu-Gi-Ohs, and Alistair, and Valence, and Raphael, and Darkseid's, all their cards haven't came out. Well, they tried their best with Raphael, but I think the Guardians just need to be retrained at this point, because it's just completely fucking unplayable. Like, I can't win with this. I can't. I tried. I built Guardian decks before and lost. And won. I have a friend named Raphael in real life, and that nigga built the Guardian deck. He was trying his hardest to play, and I like how he did it, bro. Because Raphael did something that I didn't even think of. He would use the equipped spells and attach them to the opponent's monsters. Because you can technically do that. It's an equipped spell. He would attach it to my monster instead of his monsters. That way, he could still summon his Guardian monsters. And I thought that was a neat little workaround for the effect that they had, because they were basically bricks. You can't summon them unless you got Gravity Axe, Rod of Silence, Dagger Elma, and all the rest of the Guardian cards. So the Guardians need to retrain, the armors need to come out, and all the Alistairs and Darkseid shit need to come out too. Because y'all got bro, Siegfried Von Schroeder's cards came out. Siegfried. No one was checking for that nigga. And his cards came out, and yet the Dome of Musketeers, all that shit ain't came out yet. That's where I'm at with it, and I love the Dome of Musketeers. Alistair's my favorite character because that nigga remind me of myself, bro. I got a little brother that I love. I like Power Rangers so much that I have action figures for years. Hold on to them. Some of these action figures are in terrible condition. Just like Alistair going through war and stuff like that. And he was just using freaking, like, he had a Megazord head with guns attached to it. What type of Digimon shit is this? Like, nah, bro, Alistair was my favorite character. And I was mad because I could never fully, because as a duelist, sometimes people try to be the characters and stuff like that. And I had a couple of duelists around me that tried to be the characters, but when I did it, I like to build decks to win. Like, I didn't want to be out here losing. Like, I hate losing, bro. I'm very competitive in this game. I used to clown people who were less than me in this game because that's how competitive I was, because that's what Yu-Gi-Oh! Teaches you to be. Yu-Gi-Oh! Teaches you kind of to be a bully in this game. Somewhat, because Kaiba, Weevil, Merrick, the Rail Hunters, it's a very treacherous game, and more or less, they have these very standoffish-ass personalities. Like, every Yu-Gi-Oh! Character after GX, every Yu-Gi-Oh! character sounds like Chaz Princeton to me, because they're just arrogant, loud, I'm gonna beat you, this card game is everything to me type personalities. And bro, I loved it for what it was. I love the entire show. I love Yami Yugi and his story. He needed to find his name. Yugi needed to get his grandpa back, and then after he finally got his grandpa back, he basically needed to help the Pharaoh find the Millennium Puzzle. Joey and his whole thing with his sister. Nah, it was hilarious, bro. Because Joey got the money for the operation for his sister, and the only thing he needed to do was go see her now. The whole family was there. Joey hasn't spoke to his mother in years. And he needs to go see his sister. He runs into the wrong dark alley, and he sees 5 niggas looking like Organization 13 wearing coats and shit, and they block his path. And Joey can't get past them. That's 5 grown men right there. That's 5. He has to fight 5 crackheads. Cause Seeker, I don't care, we're crackhead. Look at Seeker. Straight crackhead energy, bro. Joey had to fight 5 crackheads before he could even get to the hospital. And the worst part about these crackheads is they forced him to play a children's trading card game before they beat him up. They cheated in the game. They played like 3 sets of Exodia on him. So they cheated. They forced him to play the game. They cheated. They took his rare card and they beat him up. They didn't even have to beat him up. They could have just took his card. Like that was the agreement in the rules. We follow rules over here. We Luxord people out here. We're very rule-oriented individuals in the Yu-Gi-Oh! World. And you just gonna beat me up anyway. And I'm like, no, somebody stop this nigga. And I thought, like, you know, Kaiba wouldn't allow that in his tournament and nothing, but Kaiba was just letting the Red Hunters run, bro. Red Hunters was doing all types of shit. Niggas was kidnapping niggas, putting niggas under mind control, trying to saw people's feet up. You was playing on a glass ceiling and a loser falls to their doom. Whether the Shadow Realm exists or not, depending on which version you watch, the Red Hunters were wildin'. These niggas was literally a force of nature, son. They literally stole people's Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And I think they influenced a generation of degeneracy in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. Because there was a lot of robbing and stealing. Bro, niggas used to get robbed at gunpoint in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, son. I've heard stories, bro. Like, it's happened to many people. Like, this, like, the Red Hunters is like Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a good part of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's influenced community, friendship, and stuff, but there's a dark side to this, too. Where niggas got humiliated and lost everything. I've seen niggas walk up to somebody and he did something wrong and he took all his Yu-Gi-Oh cards and told him to start over. And he had to start over. It's just a nigga just took all of his Yu-Gi-Oh cards like he was Tywin Lannister and just said, no, you're going to start over now. If you want to partake in this game, you will have to start with a new deck. Because I am confiscating all of your cards and giving them to my children. I'm sure Cersei could use an Ophion in her deck. Bro, like, and basically, like, there's a dark side to this game, bro. Like, and like, if you're really interested in it, just look up at like the dark side of Yu-Gi-Oh. There's a lot of people on YouTube that cover some of the tragedies that happen in this game. Because, like, I love this game, but there's some darkness in it. And like I said, for me, it's hard for me to get in the game because I need things to anchor me. Because new cards coming out ain't gonna anchor me, bro. Because everything is a special summon circus now, son. And y'all limited my fucking skill drain to 1, and my freaking Tikaboo to 1, and my summon limit to 1, and all my fucking floodgates. And I'm a floodgate player. I love floodgates because I'm a grandpa, guys. Like, I ain't trying to keep up with all this new special summon. I'm not trying to summon 6 lake monsters just to get 5 monsters that say negate. I'm trying to stop that board from even being built to begin with. And yeah, they limited the floodgates, and for a while, like, I was back and forth with Yu-Gi-Oh! Because, like I said, Skill Drain is my favorite trap card of all time. I won many duels because of that trap card. I built decks around that trap card, and it's limited to 1. And even if Skill Drain was limited to 1, there was other things that could take its place, like Summon Limit, and there could only be 1. And that was also fucking limited to 1. Now I can play 3 copies of each in my deck, and it'll be as if I'm playing 3 Skill Drains somewhat, but the synergy just doesn't match, bro, because Skill Drain does something specific. Summon Limit does something specific. And the way I build my decks is like a well-engined machine. So it's just like, yeah, I could put them in there, but the ratios of 2 and 3 just made this shit all the more playable. And I understand why they do it, because certain cards are freaking busted, man. Like Mystic Mind, niggas was wildin' with Mystic Mind back in the day, son. It was just straight wild, it was just straight degeneracy, son, going on in this card game. And I have a long history with it. Now, I love the characters, but every now and then I have to go back and remind myself why I love Yu-Gi-Oh! So much. Because it's just like, I'll be away from it for a while, and then I get back and I'm like, okay, I remember why I love these characters and stuff. So when it comes to me translating these characters in Power Rangers onto Universe, since this is a Power Rangers centric universe, they're going to use their Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, but more in a battleistic centric way. Kind of like how they did in the Capsule World or in the Virtual World, or in the Ancient Millennium Arc. Something more akin to that. Okay, if y'all hear noise in the background, please forgive me. Well, this audio is probably going to be a little bit bad. Just forgive me for the audio, guys. Like, you know, but just more like a battle-centric world where they essentially got to fight against aliens who don't give a fuck about your card effects. Or even worse, aliens that really care about your card effects, like Kyburn and Modoko and Ikage, and have and developed card effects of their own. Or just people misusing the cards in general, like Tywin Lannister's Marco Cosmos. So there's a lot of implications in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe. And Yu-Gi-Oh! is the one weakness that I did give my goddess, because I made her virtually unstoppable in almost every area except a children's trading card game. Because whether it be she got cursed to be bad at Yu-Gi-Oh! from a past life, or she just doesn't know them, or she just doesn't care about the game enough to fully bond with its power system, is up for debate. But more or less, Rogexio can essentially do almost anything. If there's a power system that exists, she has it. But with Yu-Gi-Oh!, she doesn't have a variant of herself. So she can't hack its system and use all of its power. Because there is no Yu-Gi-Oh! Rogexio. There's Power Ranger Rogexio. There's Kingdom Hearts Rogexio. There's Superman Rogexio. Even a Batman one. There's a Rogexio for almost every situation. But as far as the Yu-Gi-Oh! World is concerned, there is no Rogexio there. in all honesty, Mavis is stronger in Yu-Gi-Oh! Than Rogexio is. Because Mavis' past life, one of her past lives is tied to Egypt. I don't know if I'm going to tie it to Cleopatra, I just might. Because I tied Rogexio to Calypso, so tying them to historic figures isn't off the playing board. So yeah, Mavis and the Pharaoh actually had a duel, and she's one of the very few people in my universe that got into a draw with the Pharaoh. Because in the last episode of Yu-Gi-Oh!, basically they say the Millennium Puzzle allows him to will the results of the game, basically making him cheating. But they don't want to call it cheating, but it's freaking cheating. The reason why I say it's cheating is because when Raphael gave him the Seal of Orichalcos, and he used the Seal of Orichalcos, he lost that duel. The Millennium Puzzle's magic did not work. You did not will the cards you needed to the top of your deck. A magic more older and more powerful than you negated your magic. So I figured Mavis, she is older than the Pharaoh. She's centuries, eons, millennia older, because she also goes through the same reset problems that Rogexio goes through. So she would have access to an Orichalcos orb. So if she would have ever dueled the Pharaoh, he wouldn't be able to just will Blackluster Ritual or whatever other card he needs to win. He's going to have to play Yu-Gi-Oh! To the whims of fate. And fate won't, the pendulum won't always swing in his favor. And that's the conundrum that Rogexio and the Pharaoh face, essentially. Rogexio faces a conundrum because she's not good at the game, and she's good at everything else, and she needs to be good at this fucking game, because niggas is activating Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic relentlessly out here in these Gokah Spartan streets. And the Pharaoh, whereas the Pharaoh is the master of the game, but the Orichalcos is something that the Galactic Crash Outs have access to, due to Mavis being there because of Brandon Stark manipulating her to be there. She gave him access to the Orichalcos orbs. Qyburn has them. And it's going to be interesting moving forward with Mavis and Qyburn, because the reason Qyburn even left was because of Mavis, because Mavis told Qyburn that, like I said, there's a lot of scenes I haven't made yet, but how it eventually went with Mavis and Qyburn, because Mavis wanted somebody, she wanted somebody that was going to help her build, somebody that was going to help the Galactic Crash Outs essentially build, because that's what Brandon needed. He wants to break the multiverse. So he told her to get the most dangerous nigga in Westeros on her side, and just have that nigga learn everything outside of it, because he's already learned enough from the Gravestone Twins. Because as soon as Qyburn was brought back to life, that nigga dipped. He did the same thing that Tyrion did. He pulled up to the Flawless Military. He was just working in the science division for a while, and Mavis knew that, so they both left. But now we have a conundrum, because now Mavis doesn't want to be evil anymore, but Qyburn is completely still on board with that shit. So would he side with Mavis, or would he just side with Progress? The thing about Qyburn is, in Game of Thrones, he ultimately was fearful for his life and Cersei's, but that's because Daenerys Targaryen was burning everything to the ground, and he lost control of Greater Clegane because the one fraction sentience of his humanness came to fold when the Hound showed up. But if all that shit didn't necessarily happen, and somebody else was to give Qyburn more freedom and more shit to do with science, he's going to that. He's not loyal to Cersei, he's loyal to research, he's loyal to his own fascination. So I think either two things can happen. Either Mavis might find herself with a threat that she can't control or can't contain, because you've essentially made this nigga Brainiac at this point. Or maybe she might find a reluctant friend. But I don't think I'm going to go through with that. I'm more or less going to go through with the latter with Mavis and Qyburn, because I'm building Qyburn up to be something big. I had two villains when I started Power Rangers Ultimate Universe. Before it was even Power Rangers Ultimate Universe, before YouTube, I had two villains, Goliath and the Monitor. Goliath, there are things about Goliath that I can't even tell. He is terrible, one of the worst incarnations ever. And I don't fully want to describe how terrible he was. But his character's been recycled into Ikappin, essentially. And the Monitor was a caveman that went to the future, that got frozen in time, went to the future, learned stuff, went back into the time, and basically took over the Flawless Military. I didn't take it over, but basically almost destroyed it and shit like that. And it was literally Rogexio, Madara, and Beatrice Gravestone that was going to be the ones that defeat the Monitor. But I didn't even make the Monitor in this version of the story. Instead, I got Qyburn, a scientist from Westeros that's given access to this new technology. He's not a caveman, but he's from a time that is archaic, so it's the same premise somewhat. So yeah, that's what I got going on with that. And Athena, the thing is, when I was developing the Destroy All Power Rangers videos, I didn't necessarily knew what all the Galactic Crash Outs were going to be. Like, I had an idea for Rikage and Madoko and Leo, but there was a lot of them that there was a lot of new characters that I was just developing. Like, for instance, Scorpion, I made him final boss from House of Borderlands, and he's going to have like a storyline beef with Naragi moving forward. And he's actually one of the most serious members of the Galactic Crash House that doesn't play with traitors. He eliminated Ansem because Ansem betrayed Xehanort and poisoned him and stuff, and he was about to take out Necrosis and Necrosis until Scorpion came and eliminated Ansem. And now Ansem being eliminated is a funny conundrum because his heart was never in his body. Never. His heart is still with Shion. And if you remember Kingdom Hearts, Ansem is literally a walking heart, and his vessel kind of came later after he possessed Riku and stuff like that. He kind of gained like a physical body. But he was literally in a brown potato sack talking about this world is... This world has been connected, tied to the darkness, soon to be completely eclipsed. You're wrong! I'm gonna go and learn what's out there! A meaningless effort. One who knows nothing can understand nothing. So yeah, his heart still exists. So that might come into play a little bit later. But yeah, Scorpion, he's one of the more serious members of the Crash Outs. Libra, which Parcell, which when I first made the Destroy Power Rangers video, I didn't know whether it was going to be Parcell or not, but that was the voice that I used, so I just decided to just make it Parcell. And honestly, it's interesting for Parcell contextually because if you look at Parcell as a character, he's a man that's been loyal to House Lannister for his entire life, and it got him killed. So maybe if he came back to life, he'd come to the conclusion that opening the gates for Tywin Lannister against the Mad King was probably the worst thing that he could have possibly done, and it ruined him. Thus, he's going to side with Daenerys. Now, when I said Roku brought everybody back to life, there was a couple of people that she missed because Grand Reversal kind of is a very in-specific technique. Because for her to bring back that many people, and there's a lot of NPCs, like non-playable characters, that we don't really know about because we're not going to pay attention to every farmer and peasant in Westeros. So in order for her to bring all the peasants back, she has to do this massive technique that brings everybody back, but it kind of brings back everybody. So her solution to do that is just somewhat take over Westeros and change it in a way. But with the Galactic Crash Outs and Brandon Stark being free agents, it kind of leaves some of the worst of Westeros back to what they were. Like the Mountain gets to be 10 times, 100 times worse because Qyburn is 10 times, 100 times worse now. And Ramsay still gets to be a piece of shit. Bruce Bolton wasn't brought back. Locke wasn't brought back. The Mad King wasn't brought back. There were several Targaryens that weren't brought back and several Game of Thrones characters that weren't because Grand Reversal missed them. Like Robb Stark and his wife and child, like Robb Stark's wife and child didn't get brought back, but Robb got brought back. I did this because if I had to sit there and put everybody from GOT that recontextualizes what niggas is, because if Grand Reversal is a technique that brings back everybody in history, it would bring back Joanna Lannister, thus solving all Tywin Lannister's problems, and I don't need that. Tywin is more effective with the dead wife than the happy one. Because he has to organically live with his decisions on what he did to Tyrion, or give into the darkness and more sobbiness because of the Daishin spirit that's inside of him. That's a more interesting dynamic than having Joanna alive and having Tywin Lannister in a happy relationship. Mayhaps that might happen later if they ever break all these magic cards that stops resurrection. Mayhaps we'll get to might look at Tywin. That's if Tywin's not dead, because I don't know what's going to be Tywin Lannister's fate in my universe just yet. I don't know if I'm going to keep him alive or he's going to be one of the many casualties in this great war. I don't know if the Lannisters make it, or I don't know if the Lannisters make it or the Starks make it, or anybody in Westeros for that matter. And that's just how I like it. The uncertainty gives me comfort because I can really come up with something really good. And more or less, just with so that's what's going on with the Westeros part of things. So I think I covered Westeros, Kingdom Hearts, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Let me see. Naruto. Like I said, when I first started the story, Naruto, I started it with Naruto as the main character. Mainly because I wanted a story, I wanted to make a crossover with Naruto and Kingdom Hearts. But as a Naruto watcher, as a fan of Naruto has never been my favorite character. Like, I like to talk no jutsu. It's a powerful technique, but I hate the fact that the Power Rangers Cosmic Fury used that to defeat Zed. And just more or less, I like Monkey D. Luffy more as a protagonist than Naruto. Because I feel like with Naruto, I wish they would have did more like what he did in the Zabuza arc. Whereas when Naruto came to the Land of Waves, he changed the very foundation of what that was. They named the bridge after them. Monkey D. Luffy does that all the time. Every island he goes, they change. It changes because of him. One Piece is one of my favorite stories. It's just that, I'm gonna be honest, the reason why I don't cover One Piece as much is because it's freshly new to me. All of these other stories that I have that I like, I've absorbed the information for years. Game of Thrones, I spent literally 19 years with these characters. And it's the same thing for like, well, maybe 19 is a stretch. Let's see, it came out in 2012. It is 20, okay, my math was completely freaking off. Alright, I spent over 10 years with the GOT catalog. I spent my entire life with the Power Rangers and Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. I spent my teen years in Upward with Kingdom Hearts and my entire life with the Yu-Gi-Oh characters. I got into One Piece around the time COVID happened. So it's a world that I'm new to, essentially. I haven't rewatched it enough for the world to live in my head the way that Game of Thrones and Power Rangers and Kingdom Hearts does. So it's like, because I love Luffy and I like Big Mom. I like Big Mom because my mom and Big Mom got the same name. And, like, my mom remind me of Big Mom. The good parts of Big Mom, at least. You know, the part of her that said unite her and stuff like that. Even some of the bad parts. But yeah, my mom reminds me of Big Mom. But not in the sense where, like, you know, like, it's just, I like Big Mom, I like Luffy. I like the Admirals, I like Zoro, Robin, Nami, and Usopp. And just, I love the whole cast. Doflamingo, Blackbeard. It's just that, like I said, the world is new to me. And it's just like, I fell off of One Piece after Punk Hazard. Like, I don't know shit about Loki or anything that's going on right now. Because it's just more or less, it's a lot to keep up with. And I more or less want to wait till the anime come back on. Because I like watching it that way. Because Bartholomew Kuma made me cry. That big man, because bro, I'm a big husky dude, just like Bartholomew Kuma, bro. And like, and watching his storyline go through that, and he literally looks like, Bartholomew Kuma as a child looks like me as a child. So it's just like, watching him go through that is literally like watching myself go through that shit, bro. And his shit was so sad, bro. Because his father was trying to tell him about the sun god Nika. He was like, hey yo, here's a sun god and his name is Nika. And more or less, they shot him when he was in the middle of his dance. He was just like, pow! You are making way too many noise. Silence yourself forever. And then the Celestial Dragon just left after that. And Kuma had to live with that, bro, when his mom died. And he had like this shorty that was his friend. And then they were in God Valley. In God Valley, oh my goodness, bro. They were killing peasants for sport like cattle. And the only way that they even got there is because they told the pirates that the treasure was there. So Zabek and Roger and Big Mom and them, they all pulled up. And Kaido, all of them pulled up. It was a big war scene. And that's how Ivankov gets his devil fruit later. But that's how Kaido gets his devil fruit. And that's how Kuma gets the Popo fruit. And Kuma saves all those people. He becomes a healer. He heals people, bro. Like, and then he becomes a tyrant because, like, he still needs people to fear him. So he still, like, carries, like, the big nigga energy with him. But he becomes a healer, bro. And one of the Celestial Dragons sees his girl. And he's the Jasper Wiles that shit, bro. I say that because the Jasper Wiles just did that in House of the Dragons at Alice Hightower. And the minute he touched Olivia Cook, I was like, I need this man's head removed from his shoulders. Because I love Olivia Cook as an actress. She plays Allison so freaking well. And I'm gonna be real, I don't like all this essay that these niggas be doing, bro. Like I said, just because, like I said in the previous video, it doesn't disqualify me from liking the character because the way I look at it is, that's just a writing device that needs to be used in a medieval setting. And there's probably 1,000 other things cool about the character. I'm like, alright. But I didn't like that. For Jasper, fuck that nigga. There was nothing cool about him. Nothing whatsoever. Bro, he tried to forcibly do that to Allison. Fuck out of here. Where the fuck was I? I was talking about Kuma. Nah, bro. My boy Bartholomew Kuma, they did that shit to his shorty, bro. Pink-haired shorty. I forgot her name. And on top of that, they gave her like some weird type of disease where she died because the nigga that did it was dirty. And she died. And they basically, Saturn basically pulled Kuma to the side and be like, yo, if you want your daughter to live, you gotta become a robot, a pacifista, a machine under our every direct order. You will have no free will. You will not do anything that you want to do any longer. You have a couple of months to live, and Vegapunk will make this happen. And his storyline was just so sad. And he wanted the Straw Hats to survive. That's why he teleported them so they could go on their little time skips and all these, so they can have a time skip so they can get stronger. And at the time, before I knew anything, because I was watching this shit without context, so I just seen this fat nigga just get rid of all my Straw Hats, and that shit made me cry. One Piece made me cry like 20 times, bro. Like, because Luffy lost all his crew, and like that was very important to Luffy, bro. Like, because he worked really hard to get that crew, and that's all he ever wanted was a pirate crew so he could become king of the pirates. And he was watching that shit disappear from his very eye. And then he went into Marine Fort to get his brother back, and his stupid brother pulled a Marty McFly and got killed by Akainu. And it was just, bro, I love One Piece, bro. You can just hear how much I love One Piece just how the way I'm explaining this. I'm like, I love One Piece. I like Naruto too, but after a while, it just became the fantastic Madara show. I just came into Naruto wondering what Mr. Uchiha was going to do this week. What new power was he going to have? What new one-liner was he going to say? Who was he going to disrespect? Who was he going to glaze? What he was going to say about Hashirama next? Like, it was the Madara show for me. It should have just been called Madara Shippuden. Because I was never, because after a while, I'm going to be real, Naruto didn't open the door for me to Tamari, Tintin, and Gara did. Because that was the first episode I saw. My brother was watching Naruto, and I saw Tintin versus Tamari. And they fought, and Tamari won, and she watched Tintin. And then I saw Gara, and Gara was one of the first characters that caught my attention. Like I said, red-haired, badass character. It was mad cool. It was mad cool. I wanted to be Gara back in the day. Like, I had an emo phase back then. I used to listen to Avenged Sevenfold and My Chemical Romance. I still listen to it. My best friend, the one that I gave a ship to Dexter, he was a rockhead. He passed, and it's just like, I want to get into rock and roll. So if there's any rockers in the country that's listening to this, people that listen to rock music, please suggest bands for me, because I'm really trying to get back into just music in general. Because it's just like, I like rock music, but I also like nerd rap, and I also like country, and I also like regular rap, and I also like R&B, and I also like regular video game music. So I'm a Gemini that likes almost everything, so it's hard for me to just stick to one genre. So if you're a rockhead and you got any suggestions, please put them in the comment section. Damn, I forgot what I was talking about. Like I said, I do these rambling videos because there'd be a lot of me wanting to talk about like characters and just things of that nature and stuff like that. Oh yeah, Naruto. But yeah, it just became a fantastic manga show after that, after a while. I came here for Mr. Madara. Prior to that, I liked Kasame. He was one of my characters, my favorite characters and stuff like that. Like, we all used to say we was Naruto characters back then, like everybody had their characters. Mine was Kasame. I did that because I'm a big nigga and I don't want y'all calling me Choji. All the cool characters was taken. Itachi was taken, Gara was taken, Sasuke was taken. I'm like, yo, who the nigga that's next to Itachi? Niggas like, oh, that's Kasame. Because nobody, like, Zabuza was taken surprisingly, but Kasame wasn't, because he was obscure enough at the time that niggas didn't know whether he was gangster or cool enough. So I said, nah, I like that nigga. He's cool. He's definitely somebody to be feared. So I was like, nah, I vibe with Kasame heavy. And there's a small chunk of people who still call me Kasame. Like, I have several nicknames outside of Gokai Spartan in the real world. Like Kasame, Zimnish, just to name a few. Hashirama, that's a name I had to take on myself just for a task. But for the most part, yeah, I like the Naruto story too. Like, when Jiraiya died, that shit made me cry. The fact that Orochimaru could just come back to the village in Boruto, that shit is hilarious to me. But yeah, I covered Naruto, One Piece, Kingdom Hearts, Digimon, and Pokemon. I guess I could cover these. Remember Malachi, Mr. Dexter Gravestone? Yeah, we were two halves of the same coin. I like Power Rangers and Digimon, and he liked Ninja Turtles and Pokemon. He was a Pokemon expert. One of the best Pokemon trainers I've ever seen that ever picked up a Pokemon game. So much so that if he was still alive and you are a Pokemon trainer listening to this video, he will slap you. You are not better than him. I'm willing to die on that hill. I know my buddy. And more or less, he was the Pokemon expert. I was the Digimon expert. Because I love Digimon. Seasons 1 through 4, even Digimon Fusion. I didn't like the Marcus one so much. I like the concept of him being able to deck Digimon, but I didn't like Data Squad too much. Like, I don't rewatch that one that much. But seasons 1 through 4 and Digimon Fusion, those are my shits right there. Digimon, we live in a digital world. Little monsters everywhere. Join this team, let's fuse together. Digimon Fusion now. We got the power for all to see. Stronger when we work as one. Niggas is sleeping on that song. They just don't like that season because it doesn't follow traditional Digivolution rules and everything's all over the place. But I love that season, the Digimon. That shit had Neo, Myotismon, the 7 great demon lords and shit. And bro, like, yeah, like a good Beelzemon, Minervamon, and Shoutmon, Superior Mode 7X. It's a mouthful. This shit looks like an Exceed monster. This nigga looks like fucking Utopia, bro. This nigga got motherfucking Digimon orbiting around him like he's a planet, son. One of the most hardcore Digimon I've ever fucking seen, son. Like, that nigga is cool. And bro, I'll never forget Bagramon when he said it, because like I said, the Dark Masters are some of my favorite Digimon. So when I saw Pinocchimon amongst all the Digimon coming from the sky to circle around him, he was like, no, more Digimon, why do they rally to him this way? I was like, nah, that shit was fire. Nigga said, Lord Bagra, if you ever return, we will be here to defeat you. Like, nah, bro. Niggas sleep on Digimon Fusion. That shit's peak, son. The one that came after, I really need to watch. I didn't watch that shit because it was only in Japanese, and like I was rewatching Game of Thrones and True Blood and a bunch of other shit. So like I just seen the crossover and called it a day with that one. But nah, Digimon though, I love it. Like Digimon's Worlds 1, 2, those are my shits right there. I beat Digimon World 2 so many times. I always aim to get Imperial Dramon, Metal Sea Dramon, and Paimon as my group. Those are the Digimons that I usually like. Because I like Phantomon Psych Attack because that nigga hits you, he's like shit, and you die the second time. Like if he kills you the second time, he hits you with the and and it just hits you with another slice attack, and I don't know. I just like the little attacks that they be doing in Digimon world too. Like you can hear them doing their attacks. Like, like, nah, son. I really like the way that they did their attacks in Digimon World 2. Digimon World 1 took me longer to beat because I had to figure that, like, they throw you into the wilderness and with a Digimon that has a pooping problem and gets sick and you have to feed this little nigga and they just tell you survive. And I love that, bro. I love the fact that the gym mechanics, how you gotta raise the Digimon and shit like that. And I got it down to a science. I actually, if you Digimon to some shit that I don't want, I just start mistreating you, bro. Like, I just wait till you die, and then we're gonna have to redo this whole process again. Because for me, there's no emotion in it. It's just science to me. Like, it's just like, are you Devimon or are you not Devimon? Are you Metal Greymon or are you not Metal Greymon? That's what it is to me. Because in this game, you gotta be, like, yeah, treat your Digimon nicely works and shit like that, but sometimes you gotta be mean niggas in order for to get the Digimon you want. It's weird, like, the raising mechanics of Digimon World is weird. And when they made the Digimon World Next Order, that was good, but I like the first one better because it was just more raw. I felt like I was just more in the wilderness. It felt harder. Digimon World Next Order, they literally give me Digivolution items so I could just make mega level Digimon. It feels like it doesn't feel earned. So it's just like, nah, son. I love those games. Which other Digimon games I played? There was Cyber Sleuth and the other one, Hacker's Memory. Yeah, I got every Digimon in there and named them shits after all my friends. Like, I named them all. Of course, Mastemon and named Rogexio because that was the closest thing to Rogexio they had. And honestly, if Rogexio was a Digimon, I know I had her as Venusmon. That's one that she would be, but I'm more thinking like a Shakamon. Like that would more or less be like, or maybe that would be like the ultimate form that she would achieve in that Digimon state. I'm not sure because I didn't have Digimon Rogexio in there because Digimon Rogexio and Pokemon Trainer Rogexio are two different things. Yes, yeah, there's a Pokemon Trainer Rogexio and there's an actual Digimon Rogexio. The reason why is because I could make a Pokemon version of Rogexio, but I don't know if I want to do that. Like, who would she be? Arceus, Mewtwo? And just make her a fucking trainer. With Digimon, it's more easier because literally the Digimons dead-ass be humans half the fucking time. Like, Antiwomon's literally just a white woman with a metal hat on with wings, dressed like a dominatrix. Lady Devimon, another dominatrix. Digimon has a lot of dominatrixes in there. I love my Domi-Mummies. But nah, son. Yeah, I love Digimon. My favorite Digimons are the Dark Masters. Oh, four of them. I know Paimon is probably my least favorite because, like, he's probably the strongest and the most blades one out of all of them. I like Metal Seasonmon is my favorite, followed by Puppetmon, and then Machinedramon. I actually like them in the order that they got destroyed. Ironically, that's how much I like them. The first one that got bodied, I love the most, and the last one that got bodied, I'm like, I love you, but I'm sorry. I want to ride on Metal Seasonmon's back and blow and use his River of Power to blow things that I don't like up. Like, that's way more compelling than a clown that turns niggas into keychains. Like I like my all-terrain sea serpent. Like, if I'm in the middle of war, I want to pull up like Bela, and then he uses River of Power, and I'm like, no! Those were my friends! He's like, sorry, you didn't tell me who was going to be friends or enemies. My bad, Metal Seasonmon. I probably should have let you know before we entered the gullet. Alright, you see all the Triarchy people? Yeah! Alright, can you smell the Lannisters? I can! Anybody that smells like a Lannister, just River of Power that boat, okay? Alright! River of Power! Like, that would have been dope to see Metal Seasonmon at the gullet, but we basically got a version of that with Sheep Stealer and stuff like that. Like, nah, bro. Metal Seasonmon my favorite Digimon the whole time. Other noticeable, like, if I had to talk about the Digidestined Digimons, I don't like Omnimon that much. I don't know why. I like War Greymon and Metal Garurumon as separate beings. But when they become Omnimon, I'm like, You wanna know what it is? It's the white in his outfit for me. Like, I don't like that he's primary color white and he just got them to his arms. I feel like Omnimon feels unfinished because I felt like the rest of his body should have been the same colors of War Greymon and Metal Garurumon. Like what they did with Susanomon. When Magna Garurumon and Brand Greymon fused together, his color scheme matches completely. Susanomon is peak, son. Susanomon won another cool ass fucking Digimon, bro. And I just like his color scheme better because he doesn't have that weird color of white that throws everything off. Now hear me out. Omnimon Merciful Mode, where War Greymon and Metal Garurumon both have white arms, that shit is clean. I even like Omnimon Zord where like he's distorted and shit like that. It's just regular Omnimon for me, just not do it. Like it has to be another Omnimon. Like I even like Omnimon, the one where it's Crescent Garurumon and Blitz Greymon, he has the red arms. Like, I feel like gold and red fits more with that white aesthetic thing. And like Omnimon just got too many colors going on for me, bro. Like yeah, like Omegamon, like he's one of my favorite. I like Ikakumon. I just want to ride on Ikakumon's back to the ocean. Like he looks furry and comfortable. He sit on his back and scroll through YouTube in the ocean and pray that my phone doesn't fall in the ocean. Yeah, bro, Kakumon. Well, of course I like Digimon and all of the dummy mommy Digimons, like, you know, the female Digimon. So that's what's not to like. I'm a straight man, so of course I'm gonna like attractive female Digimon. And let me see, freaking Kabuterimon. Ooh, I like how ugly he is. He's like a cool kind of ugly. Like that nigga horrible to look at, but he's like reliable as fuck. I love Kabuterimon. Now, like I was saying, Digimon and Pokemon has been split because I was the Digimon expert. He was the Pokemon expert. Everything about Pokemon he knew its world, its characters, its lore, its flaws, and everything. And for a while, that was good because I still like Pokemon, but I never really had to go that hard into it because I had him. And he never had to go that hard into Digimon and Power Rangers because he had me. So it's like we both liked different things, but we were so cool with each other that the other one being alive was the substitute for the lack of knowledge that we had for that. It was like, okay, I don't know about Pokemon, but he does. I don't know about Digimon, but he does. And that's what I'm missing. He's gone. And I still love Pokemon. That's why I haven't really done much with it. But actually being a Pokemon trainer, that's because, like, I just figured a Pokemon trainer would be cool. Make a fucking cool-ass Power Ranger. Like, what if it was a Power Ranger that also had Pokemon? I'm just doing the most of this Ranger shit. These niggas, some of them are Pokemon trainers, some of them are Z-Files, some of them are Keyblade, some of them are Targaryens. Some Power Rangers are even Kamen Riders. So yeah, that's where I'm going at with it. Now, moving forward, I'm going to more or less just continue making these videos. And like I said, I got in touch with Ass, and I just wanted to make a couple of discussion videos. But I just wanted to talk for a while. Like, I just really wanted to talk. I just wanted to really just get some discussions going on. And like, if you like what I got going on, and you know, if you like what I got going on, just feel free to like, comment, subscribe, like the video. You know, you check out the Discord, check out some of the discussions that I might really be starting. I'm new to the Discord. You know, just if you want to support your boy, you know, you can check out the Patreon as well. And you know, just have a wonderful day. May the power protect you. May your heart be your guiding king. I'm the Goulas, brother Iris.